As some of you longtime subscribers know, here on My Next Appliance I started covering technology about 6 months ago with a series that explained why it might be a bad time to buy some Apple products in the spring, if at all possible.
That is YouTube blasphemy. Why were you telling people not to buy Apple stuff?
Two main reasons. Updated processors and better screens. For processors, Intel had just released brand new 3rd generation Ivy Bridge chips at the end of April, and while only the iPhone and iPad already had Retina screens at the time, it seemed inevitable to me that there would be a resolution bump in MacBooks next.
Well, what happened? Is now a good time to buy a MacBook?
At the Worldwide Developers Conference keynote in mid-June, Apple introduced the 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina, new standard Ivy Bridge MacBook Pros, and new Ivy Bridge MacBook Airs. But unfortunately, we got a weak Mac Pro update and no word on Mac Minis or iMacs. Apple was definitely focused on getting the latest Intel chip in MacBooks for the back-to-school shopping season. 80% of all Apple computers sold over this summer were actually notebooks. In July, I did a video that talked about why Apple might need an iPad mini to compete with Amazon and Google, and it now turns out that Apple was slipping in the tablet market over the summer. While iPhone sales over the summer were up 56%, iPad sales were up only 9% year over year. Now, I admit I was wrong on some parts of my predictions, but I'm glad that I helped some people think twice before rushing out to buy a new device in the spring.
So when is the best time to buy an Apple device?
Well, the time has finally come. If you try to buy the most up-to-date technology, now is definitely the best time to buy almost any Apple iPod, computer, phone, or tablet. In September, we saw Apple unveil the iPhone 5, the 5th generation iPod Touch, and the 7th generation iPod Nano. And in October, Apple brought the A6X processor to the Retina iPad, doubling performance, updated the Mac Mini with Ivy Bridge, retrofitted the 13-inch Ivy Bridge MacBook Pro with a Retina display, and introduced a completely redesigned iMac lineup. But that's not all. Apple threw down with the iPad mini as the premium smaller tablet.
Whoa!
Use the links in the description to watch the up-to-date Fresh Apple playlist, or just search for Fresh Apple on YouTube. But if you're really interested, the best experience comes from clicking these pop-ups from a computer. Please support the channel by subscribing with email notifications and follow on Twitter for tech updates throughout the year. Oh, and by the way, if you're a subscriber waiting for the 3rd episode of Gaming Wars, don't worry. Episode 3 is in the works, as soon as I get caught up with all the latest tech from Google, Samsung, and of course Apple. In 2013, Apple is aiming to make thinner, lighter, and relatively more powerful devices with the best displays and graphics performance. In the mobile market, with the traditional iPod business shrinking, Apple is focused on the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, which is really mostly an iPhone without cellular radios. The iPhone 5 is the thinnest and lightest flagship LTE phone released in 2013, running on the surprisingly powerful A6 chip. And in Chip Wars Episode 9, I go over why the A6 processor is the best in graphics and browser performance. The latest iPad with Retina display and the A6X chip gets a 100% performance boost over the 3rd gen iPad A5X. For computers, setting aside the small refresh in the Mac Pro and Mac Mini, Apple has engineered some of the thinnest and lightest high-performance computers. The Retina MacBook Pro bridges the gap between the ultra-portable MacBook Airs and the more powerful MacBook Pros. And now the iMacs will be setting a new thin and light standard for all-in-one computing. This video is really an intro to a series that will eventually cover all the latest Apple devices in better detail. If you want some better perspective, check out Tablet Wars or Phone Wars to find out what other tech companies are bringing to the table.
Wait a minute. Are there any devices you wouldn't buy today?
Actually, yes. Looking at design hints in the iMac, and how people are using tablets as small movie devices, I would not invest in a high-end TV. I can imagine a future where all small bedroom TVs are replaced by tablets, and large living room screens become thin iMac-type devices. The only challenge is getting better content for these devices. But I'll save these speculations for another episode. To find the best prices for tech devices, please support the channel by clicking the Amazon links below and reserving any sale prices to your cart. Thanks for the feedback in the Gaming Wars series. They take a lot of time because I want to give proper credit and awesomeness to the companies that introduced many of us to the power of technology. Hit that like button if you're still interested. If you're a new viewer, please like, comment, share, and subscribe with email notifications to join My Next Appliance, where we try to keep up with innovation everywhere and the companies behind it. You can also follow a Twitter account for news and good tech deals.